Good morning. Welcome to Delta Scene. I'm your host, Janice Mosley. With me today, a very special guest, my husband, the pastor of the historic Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church out in Metcalfe, Mississippi, and a newly consecrated bishop. Welcome, Richard Mosley.
Thank you very kindly, and thank you for having us, and we hope that we will not embarrass you here.
Come on back. We're going to talk religion in the Delta. Welcome back to Delta Scene. I'm Janice Mosley. With me, a very special guest, my husband, Richard Mosley, the pastor of the Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church in Metcalfe, and newly consecrated bishop. Again, welcome, Richard.
Thank you. It's again good to be here. Seriously.
Oh, okay, great. And I know your history, but can you tell our viewers how you came into the ministry?
I was born in Metcalfe, Mississippi. And at an early age, I have a scar on my forehead now, which is the result of my imitating one of the revival ministers who was bringing revival at the Mount Calvary Church. And I fell off of this porch on the ground. After the war, my father and mother decided to go to Michigan for economic reasons, and I attended in Greenville the Lucy Webb School, and then partly through part of my intermediate education, the Coleman High, went to Detroit, went to McMichael, Northwestern, Wayne University, went to the service myself, and subsequently came back and attended the Detroit Institute of Commerce, where I obtained a certificate and a diploma in that days from a business school in accounting. Opened an accounting office, did taxes, was involved with a friend of mine who had a ministry and began involving myself with that ministry. Subsequently, we were able to form the Wings of Truth Gospel Church in Detroit. I went to Flint and started God's Tabernacle of Truth Church, founded it in 1969, and we have just celebrated 43 years an anniversary. And then we travel to Mississippi back and forth by train on occasion. In the Metropolitan Lounge, I met Bishop Willie Armstrong of the Interdenominational International Fellowship. We began to converse, we began to talk, and subsequently he invited me to join their organization. And we brought in God's Tabernacle of Truth Church as well as the historic Mount Calvary Church. Does that give you a sort of Reader's Digest quick synopsis?
That's interesting because you're talking about being a pastor of a non-denominational church and the pastor of a Baptist church. And now, what is the difference between non-denominational and interdenominational?
Well, let's start with denominational and...
Hands down out of your face.
Okay, let's start with denominational as first. Denominational generally refers or references churches of the mainline stream, Baptist, Methodist, Episcopal. Churches that have grown traditionally over time. Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal churches. These were non-denominational. Interdenominational means that we can bring into the fold and look at incorporating persons who may have been denominational or non-denominational. So interdenominational gives us an umbrella to cover those persons in a family that is not limited by denominational strictures, if I'm making sense.
So that anyone who is a Bible-believing person would feel comfortable.
He or she, as pastor, should, because we're talking about attracting pastors of fellowships, whether they be medium fellowships, whether they be small fellowships, whether they be large fellowships. Our thrust and our aim is to promote unity in the body of Christ and to be a large enough tent or have a large enough umbrella. Persons have an inner need. I maintain that people have three needs. We have a material need. We need food, clothing, shelter. We have a spiritual need. We were made by God, and we made for the purpose of serving God. And we are not satisfied until we either make a yea or nay choice on that need. And thirdly, we have a political need. We interact with other persons. We rub up against people. And so we have to get along with individuals. And so having those needs, it's innate within us. We have to satisfy that need. We have to feed that hunger. And religion says to us that Jesus, the Christ of God, is able to feed, to satisfy, and to satiate those needs.
And so what the interdenominational group is saying that everybody come.
Y'all come.
That is great. And because here in the Delta, we definitely are considered the Bible Belt. And quite frequently, we have been with a lot of Baptists and Catholic and those things, as you say, denominational. But you're saying to us that we can all get along under one umbrella, because many churches don't understand what a bishop is. Can you tell us what a bishop is?
I think that primarily it has to do more with the administrative than spiritual. When I say that, and I'm not taking away from the office is to administer churches within a diocese or within a district as we have delineated our organization. And that person should be able to communicate with the various churches, particularly here with our outfit or our organization. We want to say to churches and to pastors that your exposure as a pastor, as a member of the religious community in the area you serve, is enhanced by fellowshipping with a larger organization that can bring into your services persons, whether it's music department, whether it's ministry department, whether it's dance, whatever are the ancillary ministries of a particular fellowship. We can, I don't want to say upgrade, but we can enhance by participating, by fellowshipping, and by learning from one another.
It almost sounds like a principal in an educational situation as a support person who definitely understands the needs of each individual class and is able to bring all together all of the needs that person may have.
Yes, but also the autonomy of the local churches is not disturbed. So many people feel that if you involve yourself with an organization that is top-down, directed, you lose your autonomy, or you may be swallowed up by the organization. And there's a fear, I think, that comes with individuals who've started their churches, who are the founders of their churches, and they have a vision for where and the direction in which they want to take that organization. So we say to them, you enhance your exposure. We have 4 districts. In first district, we have 10 churches. In District 2, which is headed by Bishop Williams of Jackson, we have 1. In Maryland, we have Bishop Joseph William Strong, who heads Division 3, and he has 5 churches within that division. I am the newly elected bishop of the 4th district, and we have 2 churches. The mother church in the north is God's Tabernacle of Truth. The mother church in the south is Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. Mount Calvary is 95 years old. God's Tabernacle, we've just celebrated 43 years this past October. And so what we do is try to bring that experience to bear upon fellowships, and many times we know some of the concerns that they're being faced with because we've done it. And so what we're trying to say is that as we move to developing, and in fact in Mississippi, we have invited 4 other churches here, another church in Illinois, a church in Maryland, and we're trying to invite persons who will have a shared vision of what IDIF is trying to accomplish.
So it sounds like a partnership that everyone can raise themselves by being in the same waters. That can, if someone's interested, if a pastor is interested, how would they get in touch with you?
We have involved ourselves with social media as well as with a web page. Our web page is www.gttcministries.org. And then with social media, we have Facebook fan pages. We have a Facebook fan page for God's Tabernacle of Truth. We have a Facebook fan page for the Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. And we have a Facebook fan page for IDF District 4 Midwest region. So persons can search in and on their Facebook page and pick our Facebook pages up, and we post occasionally thoughts and inspirational ideas.
So even if one is not a pastor, they can find lots of information on these web pages.
Yes, indeed.
Very good. So you're very much involved in the social media or in technology.
One has to try and see what the waters hold. Yes. Not. We have a webmaster in Michigan who developed our initial web page. But then my daughter Corey, our daughter, excuse me, I should have problems with that. Our daughter Corey.
We're going to have to come right back after these commercial messages.